Hello everyone, it's Galina, and today I'm going to create a fun winter shaker card. I'm going to start by cutting out few panels. I want to have on my card a red scallop border. And to create that panel, I'm going to use a scallop honeycomb cover die. You can separate these dies and cut out the panel with scallop edge, but I leave these dies because I will cover the central part with a pattern paper. So I don't mind about the small hexagon die cuts. To cut out a main panel, I'm going to use a rectangle die from another set called Dotted Pattern Set number 1 from Studio Katia as well, and it fits the bigger die perfectly. So I'm going to cut out the bigger panel from a red cardstock, and for my main panel I'm going to pick a pattern paper from black, white and rainbow paper set. Here I have my 2 die cut panels, and in the smallest one I want to cut out a window to create a shaker. I'm going to use a medium-sized die from Dotted Balloons die set, and I think I didn't make any balloon card with this set. I always use it with another option like creating a Christmas ornaments or shaker windows. And I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine twice. At first, I cut out a window in the panel, and second time I'm going to cut out a thin frame for the window. And I want to add something sparkling on my card, and I will cut it out from a gold glitter cardstock. Next, I'm going to stamp a beautiful poinsettias on a white smooth cardstock. I'm using a Mary Poinsettia stamp set from Studio Katia, and I'm placing this stamp on a large acrylic block. I'm going to ink it up with black magenta ink, and I'm stamping on a silicone mat just to get a nice impression of the image. To color these poinsettias, I'm going to use my Copic markers. They are alcohol-based markers. I pick some traditional red colors, and I start by applying ink where shadow should be. And then I'm going to layer darkest shades. After my coloring is done, I'm going to cut out the image with coordinating die. I left a central part uncolored because I will use another medium and I don't want to smash it while I'm die cutting. So to color the central of each flower, I'm using a gold liquid paint. It will dry with a little bit of dimension and it will be super shiny. I have this little bottle for ages and my paint gets a little bit thicker. That's why I'm applying it with my craft tool instead of paintbrush. I attached a piece of acetate sheet on the back of the card panel. The acetate sheet has a protective foil, so now it looks like I put a blue acetate on my panel. Next, I'm going to cover my red panel with a piece of paper. This will be a bottom layer of a shaker. If you want to add a stamping sentiment inside of the shaker, do it after this step. I put out my Misty stamping tool just to find a best place for the sentiment and stamp it where I planned. So I put all the panels inside of the Misty. Also I put my poinsettias. And now I can see where I can stamp the sentiment. I'm using a beautiful script sentiment stamp from a same Mary Poinsettia set. I'm inking it up with black Versamark ink and I'm stamping directly on a white paper. After that I can adhere the red scallop panel on the white card base and pick crystals for the shaker. I'm going to combine red and gold crystals on my card, and I'm putting a little bit of lipstick red crystals from Studio Katia and a same amount of gold crystals. I put a lot of foam tape behind the card panel and now I'm attaching it on the card base. And I'm covering those crystals with a shaker window. Now I can add a thin gold glitter frame on my card and I'm attaching it with a double-sided adhesive tape. I'm attaching it directly on the acetate sheet. Also, I'm going to foam mount the poinsettias on the left side. I want to be sure my sentiment is visible and I didn't cover it with a stamped image. My super fancy Christmas card is done. I love the gold shine on it, and those crystals look awesome in the shaker card. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe, and full supply list you can find in the video description below. Have a great day. Bye!